Imagine waking up every day, thinking you're free, believing you're in control of your life. But the truth is, you're not. You're trapped in a machine so ancient, so relentless, it's older than any government, religion, or empire. Two forces: magnify, maintain. They decide whether you taste heaven or choke on your own private hell. And the cruelest part? The universe doesn't give a damn about fairness. It doesn't care how kind you are, or how many nights you've cried on your knees begging for mercy, because the universe serves only one master: emotion. Emotion is the raw currency the universe trades in. Every single feeling inside you: joy, rage, guilt, ecstasy. It's all data. Data the universe uses to write the script of your life. And the two M's, they're the hidden architects of that script. Magnify, turning a passing worry into a hurricane that destroys your entire world. Maintain, locking you in loops so tight, you start to believe suffering is your destiny. Think about it. Why do some people transform their lives overnight, while others keep running into the same brick wall for decades? Why do billionaires swear by vibration and frequency, while the rest of the world laughs it off as woo-woo nonsense, until their life collapses into chaos? It's not luck, it's not karma, and it's definitely not random. It's the two M's pulling the strings from behind the curtain. And until you learn how to hack them, you're nothing but a marionette, dancing to a script you never chose. A puppet feeding an invisible system that thrives on one thing: your emotions. So the real question is this: will you keep dancing in someone else's puppet show, or finally become the author of your own reality? Because once you learn the truth, there's no going back. And the truth is coming for you right now. Imagine a prison so perfect. You can't see the walls. You can't hear the locks. And worst of all, you don't even know you're inside. Every day, you wake up in this prison. You eat breakfast in it. You go to work in it. You fall in love inside it. You raise your children inside it. And eventually, you die inside it, all the while believing you were free. This prison has no metal bars, no armed guards, no fingerprint scanners or barbed wire fences. Because this prison is built from meaning. The invisible meanings you've been spoon-fed since the day you arrived on Earth. Money is hard to earn. Mondays are misery. Success means sacrifice. Rain is depressing. God is distant. Little by little, those meanings became the bricks and mortar of your cell. And here's the part no one wants you to realize. Meaning isn't real. It's assigned, crafted, often by people who profit from your obedience. Politicians, corporations, religions, influencers. They're all in the business of manufacturing meaning, because the meanings you accept determine the limits of your freedom. And once those meanings sink into your subconscious, your reality becomes a script you never wrote. Think about it. A child playing in the rain laughs and splashes, drenched and joyful. An adult sees that same rain and curses it as misery. Same water, different prison cells. Or look at money. Some see it as the root of evil. Others see it as a tool for freedom and legacy. Same dollars, different realities. And if you've ever wondered, why does my life feel like the same loop on repeat? The answer is simple. You're still living under the meanings you were programmed to accept. Meanings designed to keep you small. Meanings designed to keep you dependent. Meanings designed to keep you terrified of stepping beyond the boundaries they drew for you. The elite know this game. They've been playing it for centuries. Feed the masses fear. Feed them guilt. Feed them shame. Because fear, guilt, and shame are the perfect raw materials for building invisible prisons. Why do governments always need an enemy? Why do religions warn of eternal punishment? Why does the media flood your feed with doom? Because terrorized people are easy to control, and all it takes is giving your mind a meaning that feels true. And once you accept that meaning, your subconscious goes to work, making it real. Here's the dark secret. Reality is just your mind's echo chamber. It reflects back whatever you believe. Believe rain is gloom. Rain becomes gloom. Believe money is evil. You'll repel money. Believe love always ends in betrayal. You'll sabotage every relationship you touch. Reality doesn't argue. It obeys. And the worst part? You don't even realize the walls have closed around you because they look like normal life. You call it just the way things are, or that's life, or welcome to adulthood. And you keep waking up inside the same cage, wearing a smile, while your dreams wither like a plant starved of sunlight. But here's the part that should terrify and liberate you. Meaning is programmable. You can rip the old labels off reality and write new ones. Rain means money pouring into your bank. Mondays mean new opportunities. Conflict means your old self dying so a new self can rise. And when you change the meaning, the entire universe has to change with it, because the universe is nothing but a giant mirror, reflecting back the frequencies you send it. And the guardians of that mirror? Two silent laws coded into the system of reality: magnify, maintain. Once you understand how these two forces work, you'll see how every loop in your life was built, and more importantly, how to shatter it. So get ready, because the walls of this invisible prison are about to crack. So you're living in a prison you can't see. Good. Now let me show you the first jailer keeping you locked inside. It's the first hidden law of reality: magnify. And it's more ruthless than any dictator that's ever ruled a nation. Because magnify doesn't care who you are. It doesn't care how spiritual you claim to be, or how many vision boards you've taped to your fridge. Magnify just obeys the signal you send. And here's how it works. Your emotions are like radio frequencies broadcast into the universe. And the universe, it's the world's biggest echo chamber. Except it doesn't just echo back the same volume, it turns the volume up. A whisper of fear becomes a scream of disaster. A flicker of insecurity turns into an avalanche of rejection. A spark of anger sets your whole life on fire. That's magnify. Let me show you how subtle and sinister it really is. You wake up late. You mutter, "Today's gonna be rough." Suddenly, traffic's a nightmare. Your boss sends you a snarky email. Your phone dies right before an important call. And your brain whispers, "See? I knew it. Congratulations. You just sent a signal to the universe." And Magnify made sure it came true. And it's not random, because the universe has one prime directive: I will make you right. If you believe you're unlucky, the universe will become your partner in crime, proving your story over and over again, because your emotional frequency is a command to reality. And here's where it gets darker. Magnify isn't just about your personal bad days. It's the reason entire civilizations rise and fall. Entire empires collapsed because rulers were gripped by paranoia. Financial markets crash because enough traders feel fear simultaneously. Wars begin because entire nations magnify a single idea. They're the enemy. Magnify doesn't care if the feeling is true. It only cares that it's felt. And when enough people feel the same thing, The entire matrix of reality bends to fulfill it. Look at the news. Every day. Headlines crafted to trigger fear. Politicians craft messages to magnify anger. Corporations magnify insecurity, so you'll buy more. Because fear and insecurity are profitable. And the masses, they keep tuning in, pumping emotional fuel into the machine, feeding the echo chamber. This isn't some fringe conspiracy theory. It's physics. Energy attracts energy. Emotions are energy in motion, and the universe's only job is to reflect back the vibration you send. The ancients called it karma. Psychologists call it confirmation bias. Physicists call it quantum entanglement. Same law, different names. Magnify doesn't just punish negativity, it also multiplies the positive. Feel gratitude. Life showers you with unexpected gifts. Feel love. Strangers suddenly smile at you. Feel abundance. Money shows up from places you didn't expect. But here's the problem. Most people don't know they're transmitting anything at all. They think they're just reacting to life, when in reality, they're broadcasting instructions to the universe. And here's the dark irony. The more evidence Magnify gives them, the more convinced they become that their prison is reality. See, Mondays always suck. See, people can't be trusted. See, the world is getting worse. And Magnify just keeps nodding its cosmic head, as you wish. Because it's not here to judge you. It's here to obey you. And the more momentum your feelings have, the louder Magnify screams your story into physical reality. Which means, if you want to change your world, you don't start with action. You start with feeling. Because Magnify is reality's amplifier. And once it cranks the volume up, that's when the second M arrives, to lock your fate in place, the second jailer of your invisible prison. And that is where things get truly dangerous. So the universe magnifies your signal. That's dangerous enough. But the second jailer is the real architect of your invisible prison. It's the reason why one bad day turns into a bad month into a bad year, and eventually into a bad life. It's the reason people stay in toxic relationships, or trapped in the same job for 20 years, or broke, or addicted, even when they know better. This second force is the universe's quiet enforcer. Its job is simple: keep everything exactly as it is. The second M, maintain. Here's how it works. Once the universe magnifies an emotion, it goes into lockdown mode. It decides, this is the frequency this person lives at. Let's keep them there. Because the universe, like any system, craves one thing above all: stability, even if that stability is pure hell. So it sends you more thoughts, more events, more people, all designed to keep you vibrating at the same frequency. You feel anxious. You'll see news stories confirming the world is dangerous. You feel unworthy. People around you will mirror that back. You feel betrayed. The universe will hand you new betrayals on a silver platter, not because it hates you, but because maintaining your frequency is the universe's way of keeping cosmic order. Let me give you an example. You have a string of bad days. You feel like life is out to get you. Magnify kicks in. Small problems snowball. But the real danger comes next. Your brain starts whispering, this is just how life is. And as soon as you accept that story, Maintain slams the door shut. You'll start automatically scanning the world for proof that your story is true. And guess what? You'll always find it. Because reality can't help but reflect back what you believe. That's why they call it a loop. The same emotions, trigger the same events, which trigger the same emotions, until decades pass and you're still telling the same story. Love never lasts. Money is evil. People can't be trusted. And Maintain ensures you live inside that same reality forever. Here's where it gets sinister. The elites know about Maintain. That's why media repeats the same narratives. Why governments keep citizens locked in fear cycles. Why corporations keep you believing you're never good enough without their products. Because if they can make you feel it once, Magnify will blow it up. And Maintain will keep it running forever. That's how entire societies become prisoners, without ever seeing a single jail cell. It's not random. It's design. Maintain wants to keep you on your current frequency, because that frequency is predictable. And predictable humans are easy to control. So let me ask you, how many parts of your life feel stuck? Same arguments, same financial struggles, same heartbreaks, same patterns, on endless repeat. That's Maintain, whispering to you that nothing can change, handing you evidence that change is impossible, keeping you trapped in your invisible cell. But what if you could hack this system? What if you could force the universe to magnify the right signals and maintain a reality you actually want to live? That's what we'll reveal next. But first, let me show you how deeply Maintain has infiltrated your mind without you even realizing it. So you know about Magnify, and you know about Maintain. But there's one more piece to your invisible prison: the loop. The loop is how the universe turns your feelings into chains. It's why the same problems keep haunting you. Different people, different cities, different jobs, same pain. Here's how it happens. One tiny emotion sparks inside you: fear, doubt, shame. Magnify turns that spark into a wildfire. Then Maintain locks the wildfire into your frequency. And before you know it, you're living inside a reality built entirely to confirm your worst beliefs. This is the loop. Let me give you an example. You believe, I'm not good enough. Magnify ensures every mistake feels catastrophic. Your boss criticizes your work. A partner becomes distant. Even strangers glance at you funny. Proof, your mind whispers that you're not enough. Then Maintain steps in, feeding you more situations, more thoughts, more people, all reinforcing that same emotion. Until one day, you don't even question it anymore. It's just who you are. And that is how you become a prisoner in your own identity. Or look at money. You grow up hearing, money is hard to get. One missed paycheck. Magnify explodes your fear into panic. Bills pile up. Debt collectors call. Maintain takes over, blocking opportunities, filling your newsfeed with stories about inflation and economic doom, until poverty feels inevitable. Different jobs, same struggle. That's the loop. And it's not just individuals. Entire societies live inside loops. Constant fear of the other. Generations taught to distrust wealth, or power, or even happiness. Media narratives replayed so often, they become reality itself. The loop doesn't care if it destroys you. It only cares about one thing: consistency. Because the universe would rather keep you suffering predictably than risk chaos. The devil you know is easier to manage. That's why some people stay in abusive relationships, or stay addicted to substances, or keep choosing partners who treat them like trash. Because the familiar hell feels safer than an unknown heaven. The loop whispers, at least you know how this story ends. And that's the most dangerous prison of all, because the loop feels like home. But here's the terrifying part. The loop is not fate, it's architecture. And anything built can be demolished if you know how to hack the code. And that is what we're about to reveal next. By now, you've met your jailers, Magnify and Maintain. You've seen how the loop keeps you chained in an invisible cell. And maybe you're wondering, am I screwed forever? Number. Because there's a crack in the prison wall, a loophole hiding in plain sight. And the secret is this: meaning is programmable. Think about it. Everything in your life that feels true was taught to you by someone else. Your parents, your teachers, your culture, your religion, governments, corporations. And guess what? They didn't necessarily know the truth. They were just repeating meanings that someone else programmed into them. Let me show you how deep this rabbit hole goes. You were told rain is gloomy, but in other cultures, rain means wealth, crops, life. So which is it? Gloom or gold? You were taught Monday is hell, but some entrepreneurs worship Mondays because they mean opportunity. You were told feeling anxious is a sign you're broken, but high performers feel anxiety as excitement. Same chemicals in the body, different meaning. Think about love. Some people believe love always ends in pain. They expect betrayal. They attract partners who mirror that belief. They live in the loop because Magnify and Maintain do their job. But others believe love is safe, that partners can grow together, that relationships can heal wounds instead of create them. And guess what? They live in an entirely different universe. Same planet, different worlds. Let's talk about money. Some people believe money is evil, that it corrupts, that rich people are all villains. So they unconsciously push money away, even while desperately needing it. Others believe money is a tool, a resource that expands options, that allows generosity, and they become magnets for abundance. Why? Because their meaning tells Magnify, send more, and Maintain locks it in. Or take health. Some people believe getting older means getting sick. It's all downhill after 40. They expect pain. So guess what they find? Pain. But others believe aging is wisdom, that bodies can heal, that health can improve at any age. And somehow, they stay vibrant when others fall apart. This isn't random. It's programmable. Everything you call truth is just meaning. And meaning is just someone else's story. Corporations know this. That's why they spend billions on ads to program you. This perfume means you're irresistible. This brand means you're successful. This phone means you're better than the people who own last year's model. And the loop eats it up. The system wants you stuck because stuck people are predictable, and predictable people are profitable. But here's the part they never tell you. Meaning can be rewritten. Let me show you how simple and radical this can be. Rain starts pouring. Instead of thinking gloomy day, you think, money's raining into my life. You wake up on Monday. Instead of, back to work, you think, this is the day I plant seeds for my future empire. Someone rejects you. Instead of, I'm not enough, you think, my vibration is leveling up and they can't come with me. Same world, different meaning. And here's why it matters. Magnify doesn't care if your meanings are positive or negative. It just obeys. Send out a signal of power, gratitude, wealth, love. And the universe goes, copy that. Let's make it bigger. Maintain will keep that new frequency locked in until one day, your old prison walls simply don't exist anymore, and the life you thought was impossible becomes your new normal. The question is, How do you inject new meaning into reality so deeply that it sticks? That's where the real power comes in. Because meaning alone is nothing but words. It's emotion that turns meaning into reality. Emotion is the electrical charge that writes new code into the simulation. And next, I'll show you how to generate that emotional voltage on purpose, to break the loop and rebuild the universe around you. Let's get one thing straight. Meaning alone is powerless. You can chant affirmations till your throat bleeds, tape vision boards to every wall in your house, whisper sweet nothings to the universe every night before bed. But if you feel nothing, nothing changes. Here's why. The universe doesn't speak English. It doesn't speak Spanish or Mandarin. The universe speaks emotion. Emotion is the God particle of reality. It's the electric current that powers the simulation. Let me show you how this really works. Think about a trauma that changed your entire life. A car crash, a heartbreak, a betrayal so deep it rewrote who you were. Did it take 90 days of repetition to sink in? Number one moment, one surge of emotion, and your subconscious mind locked it in forever. Because emotion programs reality instantly. Now flip it. Remember a time you felt pure ecstasy, when everything felt possible, a business win, the birth of your child, a moment of creative genius that made time vanish. In that moment, the universe bent to your will. Synchronicities fell into place. Doors opened that had been slammed shut for years. That's emotional charge. It's why a single experience can shatter lifetimes of programming and install a new belief instantly. Let me show you how this works in real life. Two people walk into a business meeting. One feels terrified. They're broadcasting fear. Magnify explodes that fear into mistakes, awkward silences, weird vibes. Maintain locks in the narrative. I'm bad at business. Meanwhile, the second person walks in feeling unstoppable. They radiate confidence. People lean in closer. Deals flow easily. Magnify amplifies their vibe. Maintain locks in a new story. I'm the kind of person who wins. Same meeting, two different universes, all because of one thing. Emotional charge. Let's talk about love. Someone breaks your heart. The pain is so intense, it sears itself into your subconscious. Now every new partner looks suspicious. You live expecting betrayal. And the universe, faithful to your signal, says, "As you wish," and hands you more heartbreak. But what if, instead of trauma, you could inject joy so intense that your subconscious rewrites its story? That's how some people heal decades of wounds in one moment of clarity, break free of poverty because one big win changed their identity, find lasting love because they radiate trust and wholeness. It's not random. It's emotional charge. Emotion is pure voltage, and voltage writes reality's code. Think about the placebo effect. People heal diseases because they believe a sugar pill is medicine. Why? Because belief plus emotion equals the ultimate signal. The universe can't tell the difference. It just obeys. Let me drop a bar for you. Your world changes the moment your feelings change. Not when you understand it intellectually, but when you feel it. Because feeling is the language the matrix can't ignore. The question is, how do you generate that emotional voltage on purpose? How do you flip the switch from fear to power, from doubt to certainty, from scarcity to overflow? That's the next piece of this puzzle. Because once you learn to craft emotional charge, you become a god inside your own simulation. And suddenly, the jailers of Magnify and Maintain work for you. not against you. Now you know the game. You know the prison. Magnify, maintain. The loop. You know meaning is programmable. And that emotion writes the code. So the question burning in your mind, how do I hack it? How do you stop living in someone else's simulation and become the architect of your own? Let me show you. But first, here's the brutal truth. Hacking reality is simple, but not easy, because it requires doing the one thing humans fear the most: feeling different. You've spent your entire life chasing sameness, fitting in, keeping the peace, playing small so others don't feel threatened, all because your brain's number one mission is survival. And your brain believes familiar equals safe, even if familiar is hell. So here's hack number 1. Disrupt the pattern. Every time you feel a familiar wave of fear, pause. Don't run. Don't numb it. Stare it in the face and ask one question. What meaning am I giving this right now? Let's say you feel rejected. Instead of spiraling into, I'm unworthy, you choose, this is proof my frequency is shifting. The old reality is dying. Same event, new meaning. Magnify doesn't care which story you pick, just makes it bigger. Maintain will lock it in, for better or worse, so start feeding it better. Here's hack number 2. Generate emotional voltage on purpose. Remember, the subconscious mind doesn't believe words. It believes feelings. So don't just repeat affirmations. Feel the victory, taste the money, hear the applause. Smell the ocean of your dream vacation. Make your inner movie so vivid that your body thinks it's already happening. Because once your body believes, the universe follows. And here's hack number 3. Normalize your new reality. This might be the most important hack of all, because the universe hates energetic gaps. If your desire feels distant, a mansion you can't afford, a partner who seems too good for you, money that feels impossible, your frequency screams, I don't have this yet. And the universe, loyal servant that it is, says, okay, you don't. So you must collapse the gap. You do this by imagining it's normal, expecting it like it's inevitable, acting as if the door is already open, not with fake bravado, but with quiet certainty. Let me show you how subtle this can be. Instead of, I'm going to be rich one day, think, money flows into my life daily. It's just what happens. Instead of, someday I'll find love, think, love is my natural state. Of course it shows up. Instead of, one day I'll be healthy, think, my body knows how to heal. It's happening right now. Same reality, different frequency. And remember, the universe magnifies your new signal. Maintain locks it in until one day the prison vanishes and your old life feels like a story someone else told you. So here's my challenge to you. Pick one thing today, just one piece of your life, and inject it with new meaning. Feel it so deeply that your body buzzes with certainty. Because the moment you feel different, the simulation has no choice but to bend. You're not here to live in someone else's prison. You're here to be the architect. And once you master this, magnify and maintain, become your loyal soldiers instead of jailers. And that is how you hack the code. So now you know how to hack the code. You've seen how meanings are just software, how emotion is the voltage that writes reality, and how magnify and maintain can either be your prison guards or your soldiers. But here's the part no one tells you. This isn't a one-time magic trick. This is a way of life, because the system you're living in is designed to pull you back. back into the same old loops, back into fear, back into thinking you're just another pawn in someone else's game. Every day, you're bombarded by signals, news headlines screaming catastrophe, social media echoing fear and comparison, politicians whispering danger around every corner, corporations dangling shiny things to sell you meaning. The machine wants you asleep because predictable humans are profitable humans. But once you've seen the code, you can never fully go back to sleep. So here's what living like an architect looks like. You wake up in the morning. The old you might have thought, another day of the same grind. The architect wakes up and thinks, let's see how reality bends today. Someone cuts you off in traffic. The old you spirals into rage. The architect smiles and thinks, this is the universe stress testing my new frequency. A bill arrives you weren't expecting. The old you panics. The architect breathes deep and says, this is proof money's on the move. I'm about to receive more than I lose. Someone ghosts you. The old you feels worthless. The architect shrugs and says, my vibration's leveling up. Not everyone can come along. Same world, different movie. Because here's the secret. Your daily life is your temple. It's where you practice reality engineering. One thought, one feeling, one meaning at a time. And the more you practice, the stronger your signal becomes. Until one day, your life flips from reaction to creation. The architect doesn't wait for proof. The architect is the proof, and the world bows to that frequency. Let me show you what happens when you truly live like this. Synchronicities multiply. People show up at exactly the right time. Money appears through channels you never saw coming. Conversations turn into portals for new opportunities. Even setbacks become coded messages, showing you how to level up. Life stops feeling random and starts feeling rigged in your favor. But here's the final mind bender. Even the obstacles are secretly part of the hack, because obstacles are the universe's way of testing if your new frequency is real. The old you would say, see, nothing works for me. The architect says, good, show me the test. Let's prove this signal is unbreakable. Because the universe doesn't hand power to people who flinch. It hands power to the ones who can hold their vibration, even when everything looks like chaos. And that is how you escape the loop forever. You don't just know the hacks. You live them. You practice them in silence when no one's watching. Until Magnify and Maintain become your loyal army. And the old matrix crumbles around you. Next, we'll step into the final chapter, where we talk about what it truly means to become a god inside your own simulation. Let's rewind to the beginning, to a world wrapped in invisible chains, a world where unseen forces pull your strings, and you call it life. The news feeds your fear, politicians auction your attention, corporations profit off your doubt, and the machine hums on, quiet, relentless, unseen. You thought you were just a passenger, that fate, luck, destiny were the drivers, but you were wrong, because the truth is, you're the driver. And all of it, the chaos, the coincidences, the patterns, are waiting for one thing, your signal. Let's make this clear. Everything you've suffered, the heartbreaks, the financial wipeouts, the betrayals so deep they stole your breath, they weren't punishment. They were code, warnings, signals from the simulation, telling you that your frequency was writing a reality you never truly wanted. But the moment you saw the code, you became dangerous, because you realized meaning isn't found. It's created. Emotion isn't random. It's the voltage that writes existence itself. And Magnify and Maintain are either your jailers or your soldiers. Let me show you the paradox the elites hope you never figure out. Your limitations are a story, nothing more. Poverty is a frequency. Loneliness is a broadcast. Chaos is a loop repeating itself because you keep feeding it. The Matrix wants you asleep because sleeping gods are the easiest slaves. And here's the final twist no one wants to admit. The Matrix never fully disappears. Even when you awaken, the tests come. The higher your signal, the more reality pushes back. Not because the universe hates you, but because it's checking. If your new frequency is real, you think you're done when you wake up? You've only begun. You'll still have days where money vanishes overnight, people you love betray you, doubt coils around your throat like a snake, and the simulation whispers, "See? You were foolish to believe you could change." But here's the power of the architect. You refuse to flinch. You stare chaos in the face and say, "This is the death throes of my old timeline." Because that's all obstacles ever were. The dying screams of your old frequency, fighting to survive. Let me give you real examples. A man grows up believing, "I'm worthless." He's 45, alone, broke. He watches a single video, and something ignites. He starts feeling worthy for the first time. Within months, his business grows. New people enter his life, because the universe has no choice but to echo the new signal. A woman's marriage shatters. She's drowning in grief. But instead of surrendering to the loop, she changes the meaning of heartbreak into freedom. A year later, she's thriving, with a love she never thought possible. A kid grows up poor, hearing money is evil. He reprograms his emotions around wealth. Years later, he's not just rich, he's funding schools in his old neighborhood. Same world, different frequency. And here's the final key. The simulation always listens. It doesn't care if your story is tragedy or triumph. It simply obeys. So ask yourself, what story are you broadcasting? Because every thought is a broadcast tower. Every emotion is a voltage spike. And every day you choose to be the victim or the god inside the machine. The Matrix wants you back asleep. It's designed to keep you small. Because small humans are profitable humans. But you've seen the code. You know how to rewrite meaning. You know how to generate emotional voltage. You know how to collapse timelines and bring your desired reality into the now. And the only thing left is to practice, to live like the architect, until your new reality becomes the only reality. So here's my final question for you. What if the prison you've been trapped in was never real? What if every wall was made of smoke and code? What if the only key you ever needed was the conviction that you're the God you've been praying to? Because the simulation has always been yours to command. And the jailers, they work for you now. Welcome to your new reality.